People are going to question what I'm about to say. What if some of that shit is so big it can't be moved?
Is that what you're saying, Ross? Is that what you've been
That's
told?
exactly what I'm saying.
What are we talking about my cock right now? But guys, we're talking about Ross Coulthart right now again, and you know that craft he's been speaking about quite on and off over an extended period of time. People are wondering, keep asking. If even the Q&As on News Nation where Ross takes part, he keeps getting asked more and more any new details about this craft or thing that's too big to move. So they built around it, and it's like a public place, but that fact is unknown. Well, there's some new details that has come out recently, and I'm about to update you, so make sure you stay a while. Thanks for all the support recently. Daily uploads, we're grinding to 500 subs, and we're gonna get there real soon. Guys, thanks, and get your snacks, get your popcorn, cause today's a good one. Watch till the end, okay? Subscribe, notifications on, like, share, interact any way you can.
How big is big?
Big.
That's what she said.
So big, they built a building over it in a country outside of the United States of America. I know that sounds preposterous, and I know, oh my God, you can just hear them now, the bleating debunkers. Let's see this investigated. Let's just see what happens. Let's test these allegations before the Congress. It's very, very easy for people to go, oh, there's no evidence. Oh, my goodness me. Let's just go away and ignore it. Let's test it. We haven't even got there yet. You know, there's a whole cadre of supposed experts on social media who are saying it can't be, therefore it isn't. And that's been the default for so many years. It can't be, therefore it isn't. Imagine if what Mr. Grush is saying is true. Think about the implications of that. And imagine if, as I've just intimated to you, some of these objects are not capable of being moved because they're too bloody big.
I mean, that's pretty astonishing. Have you said that before?
No, you're the first. See, I always save something for you, Jay.
Always save me a little something. No, seriously though, Ross, that's nuts. So you were told by someone, a trusted source, I imagine, that
multiple
yeah.
that there is. And the thing that amuses me is there is now, I have noticed, emerging on social media a plethora of tweet bots that I've never seen before. And they're running this constant line, this constant nagging line. Oh, where's the evidence? And you know what? I don't give a fuck what they say, because what they say is irrelevant.
So now that you've had an update on pretty much what I'm speaking about, and it's really fascinating, right? Something so big that it was built over and hidden, and now these body counts. Do you think it's just criticizers, or do you think it's actual campaigns to discredit Ross, to like try and drive a narrative, right? Is this just ops? What is this, right?
There's these things that are like, yeah, but what is that?
I don't think enough people are interested in it, to be honest. I think that's part of the problem.
Well, don't you think it's because for the most part it's dismissed, and if you engage in it, so like if you're a normal person, not like you or I, but if you're a person that has like a job in an accounting firm, you're like a very respected, legitimate person, especially like pre-2017, pre the New York Times article, and you want to start talking about like gravity propulsion systems that the government's been hiding, and that there's back engineering programs, they've got crashed UFOs, and there's one of them, it's only like a couple 100 feet wide, but you go inside of it, it's the size of a football field. Like,
right, like
what?
the TARDIS.
Yeah. Or the one in Korea that's so big they had to build a building around it because they couldn't move it.
Right.
I want to know what that is.
Same. I wish more people were interested in it.
I would almost be willing to run for president just to get.
So far we got confirmation that where this is in Japan, and it's in fact not the pyramids, and many people were debating, like, even still, like, what, where, all the details and what it could be Ross could be referring to. And now, it's seemingly in Japan.
Access. Just if I ran for president, the company would be in shambles, but everybody would know everything about UFOs.
Dude, you have no shot.
I have no shot. They would kill me for sure.
I can't believe the things you say are news.
Oh yeah, well, it's because news is like really dead.
Yes, that's.
Or the one in Korea that's so big they had to build a building around it because they couldn't move it.
Okay, Korea, not Japan. Guys, we gotta get Bobby Lee on this fucking mission, okay? CIA, whatever. Let's get Bobby Lee in the crew. And he has to go talk to his people to make this publicly accessible. And he needs to do his first comedy special in this UFO stadium, whatever the fuck that is, right?
Had dealt with a facility outside Seoul, South Korea, where there was a huge extraterrestrial vehicle that they had downed with apparently some type of electronic warfare system that was they had to carve out a huge part of the mountain just to contain this object because it was too big to move to any other site, and that it is still there.
So Stephen Greer possibly hinting at this as well. So it's seeming like there's being rallies around this specifically, and I'm really curious to what this actually is. If anyone knows any links to any buildings publicly known, anything, like, let me know what you know, and let's like dive through this, right? I'm gonna be uploading updates on this, so subscribe, notifications on, okay?
I want to take you back a few minutes before we move forward. You brought up, and it was like you were reading my cheat sheet here, the craft you mentioned, and that's been a talking point now for months. It was outside the US. In this podcast Discord chat, it's much more civil than it is online, and people were discussing those. It genuinely is, and people were quite nicely discussing that comment and the debate, and it was all had very kindly, and you had some supporters, others a little bit more frustrated, was around why exactly you aren't allowed to say where the craft is. And I wonder, is that protecting sources, or what would happen if you came out today on this podcast and said, okay, Andy, the craft is in France?
Let me tell you, I can't tell you the country it's in. It's not America. But what I can tell you is that the place where it is kept is used for another purpose that is a laudatory purpose. That's as much in your interests in your country in the UK as it is in mine in Australia and as it is in America. So the simple reasons are that, there are other uses for the place where this object is stored.
And we could end up with a Storm Area 51 type scenario if you came out and announced it.
I can tell you, mate, that would be a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And it's funny. I know a lot of people think journos just publish and be damned, but I've been in situations where I've known the identities of active intelligence operatives in countries overseas, and I've realized, Christ, if I published this, I could jeopardize their lives. So there is an element of source protection as well. I mean, I don't want the personnel in those facilities to be hurt. And it could create an international incident.
Cause if I go out, it's gonna be flying. Predictions remind me of the sun.